Yo, what's up, world? Welcome back to the channel. APW Sports signing in. The Mitch Trubisky and Chicago Bears marriage appears to be everything but over. So in today's video, we are going to talk about which team should sign Mitch Trubisky next. But before I get into my thoughts on that, make sure you guys are staying safe. Leave a like on this video so we can help beat the YouTube algorithm. And if you are a first-time viewer of this channel and you love football, this is a place to be. So go ahead right now and click that subscribe button and also click that notification bell so you will not miss a single video that I post. But let's dive into this topic. Without further ado, let's dive into it.
I'm striving to get rich. That's why I almost went 2 years without buying shoes and fits. Things change now. My mom hearing me wear my music and she look a little proud.
A couple of weeks back, I covered the real reason why Mitch Trubisky failed as a Chicago Bears quarterback. It should be a video card popping up right about now, and I also leave the link to that video in the description below. But to get into it a little bit briefly, it was a bit on Mitch Trubisky as to why he failed as Chicago Bears quarterback, but I place some of that blame on the Chicago Bears organization as well for not doing things to help develop a quarterback within the organization. Mitch Trubisky, albeit he's not one of the best quarterbacks, I feel with the divorce from the Chicago Bears and the pressure that he's felt over the course of his career, get himself into a different system, get him into a different organization that believes in him, that will stay by his side, and get the weapons around him and also help him improve. I think Mitch Trubisky's career can have a resurgence if signed with the right team. Now, I'm not one of those guys that's going to say Mitch Trubisky is going to be one of the best quarterbacks or Mitch Trubisky is going to be elite. I just feel with the change of scenery outside of Chicago, I feel with the different organization that's actually going to believe in him, I feel that Mitch Trubisky can still be a very productive quarterback in the league. He has the legs to really use as a weapon. I still think he has the arm talent, albeit he still has to fix some of his mechanics. He still has to fix some of his footwork, which I always said that was a bit of a downfall for him. But I feel with some tools corrected and an organization that actually boosts his confidence and believes in him, I feel Mitch Trubisky can turn his career around. He can be a resurgence and be a quality starting quarterback in the league. If you guys are OGs of this channel, I've always compared Mitch Trubisky to a guy like a Jake Plummer, who can roll out of the pocket, make some really good throws in the pocket as well. But I think if used right, I think if in the right system, I think Trubisky can still be productive, just like Jake Plummer was throughout the course of his career. There are a couple of teams as we stand right now that could be in service for a quarterback that could use either him as a backup or him as a starter. A team that could be in the market to get him, they might not talk about this football team as much as to get a veteran quarterback. I think a team that could use his services are the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now, we all assume that they're going to draft Trevor Lawrence with the #1 overall pick. Albeit Trevor Lawrence, I really think has a high upside. But even if the organization believes that Trevor Lawrence is not the guy to start right away, that he still needs to have some improvement, I think the Jaguars can bring Mitch Trubisky in. Urban Meyer, I feel, is a guy that is going to get the best out of him. He's going to be a guy that's going to coach towards his strengths, and he's going to be a guy that's going to push Mr. Trubisky to be a very good player. So I think the Jacksonville Jaguars are one of the organizations that can bring him in, especially with a guy like Urban Meyer, who's been known to get the best out of his quarterbacks, whatever talent they may have. He still finds ways to get the best out of the quarterback. So a team like Jacksonville could be one of those franchises that can use Mitch Trubisky and get the best out of him and resurge his career. Another team that I think can possibly have a move for him is the New Orleans Saints. Now, albeit they still have Winston and Taysom Hill on the roster, but we've all seen with Sean Payton, he is one of those guys that is going to be gadget. He's going to use some trick plays. He's going to do some things to put his players in the best position to succeed. And assuming Jameis Winston leaves in free agency or whatever happens at the quarterback position for the New Orleans Saints, assuming Drew Brees actually does retire, I feel Mitch Trubisky could be a quarterback that could be plugged into that situation and have some success. I feel Sean Payton is one of the most offensively gifted coaches in the NFL. He's one of those coaches that's going to scheme towards his players. I think in a system like New Orleans where, number one, he's going to be coached towards his strengths. I think he's going to be a guy that's going to be coached to have some success in whatever role that he's going to play. I think a pairing with Sean Payton can do wonders for Mitchell Trubisky's confidence in his career as he gets to start, or even if he sits. I think a guy like Sean Payton as his coach is going to really resurge his mentality, is going to boost his confidence, and I think a guy like Sean Payton is going to get the best out of Mitchell Trubisky. Another team that I think could be in the play for Mitchell Trubisky's services is the Washington football team. Offensive coordinator Scott Turner was able to get some productive play out of the quarterback position, whether it was the amazing comeback story of Alex Smith, Dwayne Haskins, whether it was Kyle Allen, and whether it was Taylor Heinicke in a playoff loss to the eventual Super Bowl champion Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Scott Turner was able to have this offense produce at a very good level. Even though the points per game for Washington was 25th, you can see some of the things in his scheme will get the best out of the quarterback. I think Mitchell Trubisky will be a very good fit with a guy like Scott Turner. He's going to, number one, coach towards Mitchell Trubisky's strengths and get the best out of him, and get an offense that is surrounding around his talents. Even though I think they are a couple of pieces away offensively, especially at the wide receiver position, I think with the offensive mind like Scott Turner, I think he could be in that offense, and that offense can really help him be successful and also resurge his career. I think they'll be a very much improved football team with Trubisky, especially the pieces that they have on defense, whether it's Jonathan Allen, Chase Young, Montez Sweat. That defense has proven to be one of the top defenses in the NFL, and I think they are a productive quarterback away from really being a top team in the NFC. Another team that I think he can have some success with is the New England Patriots. Coached under offensive coordinator Josh McDaniels, I think that will be a good pairing for Mitchell Trubisky to get the best out of him, to use him towards his strengths. And with the Patriot-style system, I think he could be a very productive quarterback in that system. Cam Newton has some hits and misses in that system. Even though I think the Patriots are still devoid of some weapons, I think that is something they are looking to address this offseason. I still think the Patriots defense has a very good secondary, and they can improve some small pieces there. But leaving Chicago and going to a team like New England, even though New England is so used to success, I think they're in a bit of a transition period. And putting a guy like Mitchell Trubisky and a guy like Josh McDaniels as a pair, I think Trubisky can be very successful under Josh McDaniels. They still have to get some weapons around him, of course, but I think he can have some success with that team, especially with the skill set that he has. McDaniels has a good way of setting quarterbacks up to be successful, and it's assuming Cam Newton is more than likely out of the door. I think Trubisky can go in there. He doesn't have that pressure that Bears fans and the Bears organization had on him. He can go into that organization and be himself and play to his best of ability without that pressure on him. Even though New England has that success, I still think in that type of environment, he can have success. He can play to the style that he's accustomed to playing, and he can have some success with Josh McDaniels as the offensive coordinator and Bill Belichick as the head coach. They were 7-9 with Cam Newton. They'll probably be around the same realms with Trubisky, but even then he can have some individual success and he can resurge his career. All signs are pointing to Mitch Trubisky and the Chicago Bears heading towards a divorce, so I really feel a change of scenery can do the absolute most for his career. I think a change of scenery, getting away from that Bears organization, getting away from Matt Nagy, who really started to lose his faith in him, and signing with the team that, number one, believes that he can be resurgent, and number two, signing with the team that believes in his skill set and is going to coach towards him, I think is going to do absolute wonders for Mitchell Trubisky's career going forward. That is all I have for you guys today. Be sure to leave a like on this video. Comment your thoughts down below. Do you think Mitchell Trubisky will have a successful career anywhere else, or do you ultimately think he's a bust? Leave your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you have gotten to this point of the video, make sure you click that subscribe button and also click that notification bell so you will not miss a single video. I am APWSPORTS signing out. Make sure you guys stay safe. Have a great and excellent day, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.